joys in life's sweet line. Sheriff Miller by his side. Lively blue red, hearts of life.
Brought to you by Big Rapids Tire here in Big Rapids and by the Daggett Gilbert Funeral Home, also in Big Rapids. Good morning, sir.
That's it. Why don't we get old J.R. Collision in here? He's out there in the other room talking to Jen. He ought to be sponsored.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll
Got that big red barn up there. How you doing this morning, Bobby?
I'm okay. Ready to go with some more sports here.
Yeah, we are, huh?
Yeah.
We got some couple of pretty good guys here. I walked in the studio this morning, and they're definitely not ballerinas. They're not cheerleading coaches, and yeah, they're definitely football coaches. Morning, Brian.
Morning. How are you?
Not bad. We tried to get you on last year, Scott. I think we had you on the phone for a little bit there and talked about your success rate up there, which everybody knows. The Coyotes don't lose very many games. This morning we got Scott from the Reed City Coyote football program up there. Probably one of the best programs historically in Mecosta, Osceola, Montcalm, Newaygo area.
Well, in the state in the last 15 years.
Yeah, you know, and the numbers, you don't have a Class A school up there, so you don't have 600 kids to pick from. So, you know, I always say it's kind of nice to see a tradition carry on. Reed City definitely has done that. You know, you lost a good coach here a few years back, and gosh, you got an even better coach now with you, Scott. You know, I mean, everybody thinks, you know, nobody can duplicate what we had, but yeah, Reed City just kind of...
No, they didn't lose a step.
Huh?
They didn't lose a step.
Yeah, but you know, one thing I do know for a fact that it's more than just a Scott up there, head coach, and that Josh Rogers up there in Reed City. You know, Josh's dad there, Chuck.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yep. Great family. I know him real well. I was up there a week or so ago. They had flag football going on up there. The Reed City. Chuck was up there coaching his grandkid, and I think they were undefeated and going into that game, but they lost it to Big Rapids by 1, and my grandson intercepted the ball, and the game was over. But that was it.
Big O?
Yeah. No, it was Harrison.
Was it Harrison?
Yeah. But Chuck has a heck of a team there. It's just time ran out is all. But, boy, he had them they were really scoped into what they had to do, you know what I mean? So it starts out young up there in Reed City, doesn't it, Scott?
It does. Well, first of all, a lot of credit to my coaching staff. I mean, it's not a one-man show. These guys I have working with me are unbelievable, committed, and just want success like everybody else. So our kids are in good hands with all the coaches, and I give most of the credit to those guys. I just get to have the title as head coach, and that's about it. But with the youth stuff, our youth program is growing tremendously. We've added flag football for a couple weeks, or it's like a 2-week window in July, and it's 3rd through 8th grade, and there's usually 100+ kids out there. My son's one of them too, and they go out there and they have a ball, and you get to see linemen throw the ball, which they never get to do, and that was trying to develop more athletes. And then our actual tackle football program up there, 3rd and 4th is one level, 5th and 6th is another level, and then 7th and 8th grade, they're all 2 teams. We all have 2 teams at each level, so it's nice to see kids wanting to be out there and play football and do things outside of, you know, a cell phone or a video game these days. So.
I can tell you, last night we had a equipment handout for our Big Rapids Rocket football program. I got kind of roped into head coach in one of the 7th and 8th grade teams yesterday, and so I was talking with one of the guys, because this is my son. My son's just going into 7th, so he's been 5th and 6th grade, and I was talking to one of the coaches. He's like, I don't know what it is about Chip Hills and Reed City and what they feed those kids up there, but he goes, we got it handed to us last year by both those teams. He goes, they got kids that are as big as you and I out there on the line, and he goes, I'm not sure what we're doing wrong down here, but there's something right going on up there, you know. So
Yeah, the 8th grade has some pretty good size coming up. So my son's in 7th, and they're combined, and there's 57 of them playing this year. So it's pretty.
50. Hell, that's all there's in the school.
It's pretty close, which we don't mind
It
with
is,
having all the
isn't it?
boys
How
out
many,
there
How
playing.
many do you think there is in those 2 combined classes? Boys, not the girls.
I honestly don't know, but
I
I think
bet you they're
I think
80% playing football, ain't they?
it's pretty good numbers so far, and they've been carrying over. So, I mean, I've watched them since 4th grade, 3rd and 4th grade. When my son was in third grade. They've been the same. Like they've grown like 36, and then it's in the 50s. And
Is there any other sport up there besides football?
Well, basketball.
Oh, is there? Okay, I didn't know. Well, I'm just being facetious there. No, but in the fall, is there any other?
we have boys soccer, we have cross country.
How's that affected you?
The cross country
Soccer.
program's great. You know.
Yeah, but they can't play both, can they?
No, but I mean their numbers are good, so we have a lot of kids that participate.
Wow.
I think I want to say the cross country team's in the 20s with boys probably. The soccer team is probably up in the 20s right now. They're getting some consistency with coaching, and
So
they're
that's
growing.
everybody's doing something
Wow.
extracurricular, not just sitting around. And that I think that's
They
the
must
most
be, huh?
important thing.
Yeah, we try to get kids active up there, whether it's sports or some sort of other thing. And our AD Ryan Hansen does a fantastic job of
Yeah.
trying to promote kids and
Well-
get them into sports and get them involved.
It helps to be local.
Oh, it does. Yes.
Ryan Hansen grew up there, played ball there, and his dad was from there, state trooper, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I knew his dad back when I was a kid driving wrecker. But anyway, yeah, so it helps to be local.
And he's passionate
Where
about
are you
it too.
from?
I'm from Breckenridge, in the middle of the
Okay,
state.
so you're
pretty
not
much.
local then.
Nope, I'm
Okay, let's talk about that a little bit. No, how long you been up here then?
20 years or more.
What brought you?
Teaching. I started teaching at Crossroads about 23, 24, 20. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
losing time.
Yeah.
But started there. That's where I got to know Brian a little bit.
Okay.
I believe he was just starting out as a.
Well, I was in the schools,
Yep.
and then we were neighbors for a short time
Yep.
too. Him and JJ Eads lived together, and
Okay.
So was there for about 4 or 5 years, and then after the first year, I coached in Breckenridge while I was going through school for about 6 years in my hometown, and then no jobs available, so I had to take the one I could get, and at that time there was 300 people that applied for a PE job at Crossroads. I mean, it was a little tough to get in. They didn't have football, so after the first year, I reached out to Monty and said, "Hey, you got any openings?" And that's what landed me there. And then the teaching job came about 4 years later.
What'd your dad do? Farm?
No, my dad was he grew up as a farmer. So my grandfather was a farmer, and I think my grandfather kind of steered him away from it. But he's pretty much a sales rep. Worked for 3M for his whole career. Used to sell billboards when billboards were popular. Then they sold that division and went to abrasives, sandpaper, and stuff. And
Breckenridge is a nice town to grow up in.
it was a great town.
It's a big community, it's a small town on 46, right?
Yep, you go. It's right between Elma and
Yeah.
Saginaw, pretty much. Right
So
there.
you lived in the country.
We lived outside, 2 miles outside of town, but everything's country there, so
Right, I
privacy
can
fences are cornfields. So
Yeah, yeah. So you had a pretty good football team.
we had a few years where we were decent. My older brother, I think, was one of the first playoff teams there, and then we had a little stretch for about 3 years, and they've had a couple, and then I think the most recent was, I want to say 2018, they went to the finals, and ever since they went to an 8-man football from 11. From that, just number-wise, they're shrinking too.
Sad, ain't it?
Yeah.
But so you left there. You're married. You got children. How many kids do you have then?
I have 2 stepchildren and one child myself that's 12.
Okay.
So
How's that going?
great.
Yeah.
A couple grandchildren too, so they're
Oh,
right
good
around
for
his
you.
age too. So
Oh, really?
we stay busy. Yep.
Yeah, good for you. So you got siblings.
Oh yeah.
So your brother, you said he was on a good football team.
Yep.
What's he do now?
He lives down in Holland, does construction.
Not in coaching.
Nope.
So how did you get into coaching if he didn't?
Just always loved sports, and when I went to college, it was toss up what I was going to do. And when I decided I was going to become a teacher, started make yourself more marketable. So I started coaching, and then it just takes that one one or two coaches that you work with to really get you hooked into stuff. And I just knew
So
it was
what college did you go to then?
started up in Lake State, but it finished at Central.
Okay, so who was your mentor? Your college coach or your high school coach? Who made you?
I had a couple. Joel Currie was my high school coach, and then I worked with a guy after Joel. Actually, I coached with Joel for a couple of years, and then I worked with a guy by the name of Wally Brzezinski that came from. He was actually down in the Detroit area coaching for 20 years, retired, moved up to Lake Sanford Meridian, worked with Northwood, and then decided to get back into high school coaching. And he kind of got me started. And then obviously Monty was a big influence on me too. So
So far, what I'm getting from your life is you live and die football.
so at that point, if you're a head coach, you pretty much it's 12 months a year. So
What's your wife like then?
she's into horses. So we have her.
Hell, you got that. I love horses. I race horses. So yeah, her and I get along great. She's into horses. Riding horses, obviously.
Yes.
Is she into dressage or what does she do?
Right now she trail rides, but she used to be a barrel racer.
Oh, she did?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day. Where'd she grow up at?
She grew up in Langsburg, but has been up here probably longer than me.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But she grew up in Landsberg, which is down by Perry, which is all horse people down there.
She grew up with horses. I didn't, so we have our own passion, and it works out great. And
Yeah, so are the kids into horses?
my son is not, but the granddaughter and the grandson are both into horses. My son's into things with motors and things that can hurt him a little worse.
Yeah. So your wife still rides, though?
Yes.
Do you ride?
No. Nope.
You've never been riding with her?
No, I'm just a stable boy. I just do the chores and put
do
the
you?
hay up
Yeah.
and.
Now, where do you board him someplace? or
No, we have our own.
Oh, you do?
We have
Good for
property
you.
about Chase, so
And you don't want to say where that's at, being a coach, vandalized.
I'm sure they.
Oh, you're in Chase area. You're
Yep.
in Ludholtz area.
Yeah, over that way. Yep.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, life's good then, isn't it?
It's great.
Kind of diversifies you a little bit if you get into the horses, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we have a little hobby farm, so it's kind of fun and
Yeah.
just a different walk, change of life a little bit. So
Right. It's stress off you a little
Yep.
bit, huh? Talking about stress, football coaches, they are kind of, scrutinized now and then. And, like I know Big Rapids is tough to be a head coach here because if you don't win, it's all your fault. It's not our little Johnny's fault that he didn't get in the weight room. Back in the day, I remember Big Rapids would go up against Reed City, and we're a much larger school, and get beat by you guys. And it's like, why is that, And it must be the coach, because little Jimmy and Johnny, I mean, they're good football players. We shouldn't be getting beat by Reed City. But then along comes Kurt Dabowski, and my niece's husband, Kurt, he played at Ferris in the 90s.
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, he's an assistant up there with the coach. And I'm telling you, I'm going to give him a hats off. He got him in the weight room. Big Rapids is really kind of getting bigger now, and I think that's the difference. I mean, look at the Foster boy and look at the Bowman boys. Them boys are built like brick. Beep. And you guys have always been built like that. Up there, you got big, strong guys, and you've always had a great coaching staff, like you said. But you guys live and die football up there, don't you?
Our community loves it, and our kids, they thrive in it too. And it helps. I also am the PE teacher, so we have strength and conditioning pretty much all year round with those boys, and they really thrive in the weight room. And they work. Our kids, I take my hat off to them all the time. We have a busy summer schedule, and they have other sports that they have to do, and they seem to find a way all the time to be there and make themselves better and make the program better. So hats off to them. And they don't get away from me a lot. I mean, they see me throughout the school year, and then they see me all year round because it's just the nature of the beast.
Pressure?
Yeah, you don't have to put much on them. They want to be there.
How about you?
Pressure? I always feel pressure. You don't want to have the letdown year. You don't want to have but sometimes you can't control things. Sometimes it's injuries. Sometimes it's just bad fortune, whatever. But we've been pretty successful, and we've been pretty lucky in situations, and we've had our bad luck too. So
I know in and out average, you guys are always very competitive, even if you do get beat. But I just wonder, because like up there, I know a lot of people that live in Reed City, and they love to win. They have a lot of pride. Big Rapids has a lot of pride too. Chippewa's too, but we're talking about Reed City today, so we're gonna pump you guys up a little bit. But you got the stands full all the time. You're down there. You're playing a good team, and you're like, whoa, we got to beat these guys. These people are counting on me. I'm Scott. I'm the head coach. I know you have great coaching staff, but everybody looks at you and points at you for that game that you might have lost by 1 point or whatever. How do you handle that? You doing all right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm losing more hair every year, or it's getting grayer. So, you know, it's just nature of the beast. Too.
Well, the one thing if you really want to look good on the field every week and week in and out, get a weak team to play. You don't do that. You play Beale City, I believe. You play a great team over by Flint there, right?
Last year, our schedule, we had 2 state championships in Beale City and Notre Dame Prep.
Yeah.
Last year, Prep won Division 5 and Beale won Division 8. So our schedule last year was, rough. We had, I think, 7 playoff teams out of 9 games on there. A couple were district champions in there. So it was loaded last year. This year it's just as tough with bigger schools where, with the way the playoff system is, we love playing Beale City because we knew it was going to be a great game, but it just doesn't help you out when you're 2 sizes bigger than them. So, and they know that. So, we've replaced some of the, we don't have Notre Dame Prep this year. We don't have Glen Lake, and we don't have Beale City because Glen Lake and Beale City were both 8.
What are you, 7?
6.
Oh, you're up 6. What? Who did you replace them?
So we still open with Kingsley, and then we're playing.
Tough.
Yep, and then we're playing Belding week 2.
Oh, wait a minute, Kingsley, they're bigger than you, right?
They're about the same size. They're Division 6
They were
now.
state champs 2 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we play. This will be the 3rd year in a row.
And last year, you guys had a hell of a game for the first game. Final seconds last year.
It came
against
down.
Kingsley.
Yeah. It was a barn burner, and our kids pulled it out.
Yes.
Oh, you beat Kingsley
on a
last year?
pass play, Pat.
Oh, wow.
Not a running play, but a pass play.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now, who's the other one you said?
We got Belding week 2 this year.
Ooh, they're bigger. No?
There's 6 this year.
That's where Monty's at, though.
Oh, wow.
That's where Monty Price is down there with.
How's he doing with that team?
They're doing well. I mean, they're getting better every year. He's, bringing in his culture and everything else, and they're going to be a tough opponent. So, and then I think, then it goes our conference schedule. And then we picked up Hopkins week 8, and we got Standish Sterling week 9 too.
You got some pretty good teams, don't you?
Yeah, we like to challenge our kids in that aspect because it's only going to help you out.
Let's talk about your quarterback. Who's he this year? Do you have one yet?
We're still working on that. We have a couple kids that are competing for it, and Reese Dew, Preston Wayne is competing at it, and Caden Langworthy. So we're still trying to figure things out. So
Yeah.
Reese do.
That's kind of nice, isn't it?
Reese was a kid that grew up with my son.
Okay.
We had our group of boys all
hockey, right?
hockey and baseball since and we thought Reese was going to be a Big Rapids kid, but
Dad was a retired teacher from Reed City.
and Dad does a lot of the announcing. If I'm not,
He does the scoreboard.
yeah,
John Williams is the.
okay, yeah, Todd would always.
John Williams been up there as long as I can remember.
I think he's
40
got to
years.
be 50, close to 50 years, I would say,
Yeah.
or if not over.
Yeah.
He's one of those
Does a
guys
great
that
job.
lives and dies it.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
a great job.
Yeah.
So.
And I can't forget Eli Williams.
Yep.
He's one of your big fans up there, too.
Oh yeah, his oldest or his middle son is a senior this year, Owen. So
Okay, yeah. He's got his pretty good athletes there. Well, sitting beside you here, I'll have you introduce the other Scott, but he looks to me like he's a lineman coach.
yeah, he does a little bit of lineman, and he also coaches the linebackers and does a fantastic job.
And you're a native of where, Scott?
I was born and raised in Allendale, Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
West Michigan, Ottawa County.
Just went to it. I had a wedding to go to Saugatuck last weekend, and my wife says, "Where are you going? You're not going towards Holland." I said, "No, I like the back way. Go through Allendale. It's a beautiful drive through there, the horse country and the farms and the crops, and then you got Allendale's growing leaps and bounds down there.
You have Allendale Community College there.
I know, yeah, but my God, that place is getting huge. They're building homes all over. I like driving through the back roads on down through there. But anyway, so you spent a lot of years there, eh?
Yeah, I was born and raised there. I got a teaching job right out of college at Allendale High School. Was coaching actually before I got my teaching job, and so coached there for a lot of years. Stopped coaching in 2019. I was working at the ISD then, and 2021, I think now, my wife and I, we have a little place on the Muskegon River, and we just decided to move up here full time just for something different. And I had a few more years to go in the school system, so I got a teaching job at Reed City, and I just retired this last spring from teaching. But we didn't know anybody up here, so wife and I just decided to move. We have 2 adult daughters, and it's been great. The community has been great. They've welcomed us. My wife is kind of a go-getter, and she's always doing stuff in the community. And I did not know Scott before this. We talked on the phone a couple times, and then he hired me, and it's been great.
How long you been up there then?
This will be my 4th football season. So I taught 3 years, but this will be my 4th
And
football
you taught, where did you coach before this?
season. In Allendale.
And then they had a pretty good team?
Yep. Yeah, we played in the OK Conference. We were, for most of my career, at the beginning, we were in the Silver Division, moved up to the Blue Division, but we were in the same conference with, like, Grand Rapids Catholic Central, Grand Rapids West Catholic. Hudsonville Unity Christian was next door neighbors to us, and we always opened with them. So we're used to seeing some
Oh, really? Yeah.
quality football teams. Yes.
Yeah. Do they have a new school, Allendale?
It's the high school is not new. The high school is the oldest building now in the district, but it was my second year teaching was the first year of that, so it's almost 30 years old now. But with the growth they have, it was, when I went there, it was a K-12 building, and now there's a high school, a middle school, an intermediate school, an early child care center, an elementary. So yeah.
You played there?
I did play there, yeah.
You're a pretty good prop, yeah?
I guess
What position were you?
I was a linebacker and a guard, and then I played 2 seasons at Hope College.
Okay.
And then transferred back and finished my education in Grand Valley.
So you are making me feel really old here, because I'm looking at you thinking you're not very old.
I thought the same.
And I thought, geez, when you said you retired from teaching, you got 30 years in out, eh?
Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah, so how do you like working up there in Reed City country?
It's great.
Any difference between our kids up there and the kids down in Allendale?
I think being in education, I think kids are kids everywhere. Problems are the same with kids everywhere as far as what kids struggle with. I would say Reed City reminds me of what Allendale was like when I was growing up. We were a very small school district. My graduating class was 50 kids, and now Allendale's like the size of Big Rapids.
Yeah.
So it's been just a great experience for me. It kind of, again, reminds myself and my wife of just a small town community that we just enjoy being part of.
We talk about it at the mayor's table there a lot about the stress these kids are under today. And sometimes I wonder if we don't play sports too many months out of the year. But on the other hand, I said to the guys the other day, but sports for kids is an out. And I think if we don't support our sports, we're mentally in trouble big time. These kids need sports, don't they?
Yep.
It takes them away from the reality, the stressful things, the bullying.
Social media.
Social media.
I mean, honestly, that's the problem, is if you're not doing the sports, they got their phone or otherwise on them. And I think that's where the problems, lie. I think that the sports is that outlet that they need and the life lessons that they need.
Yeah, I was going to ask Scott that question, not that you asked it, but you led on to it. Do you allow phones on the field?
We don't. The kids don't really bring them.
Good.
So I mean, they probably have them near in their locker room.
Sure.
Or when we're practicing, they're in their bags or in their cars.
Right.
So we don't like just say you got to be off your phones. Like,
They know that.
yeah, they don't bring them out on the field.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Because you know, at jobs, if you go into McDonald's, or I'm just using that for Curries, or let's say Curries, kids are on the phone, and the minute they can get on that phone, they're on, and so are adults. I'm not saying they're not driving down the road. Look at all the wrecks we've had lately with texting going on. It's sad. But my whole point is, if it wasn't for sports, they'd be on them. If it wasn't for a purpose in life, they'd be on them. I mean, you got to have sports as far as I'm concerned. But Reed City this year, any predictions?
We're just taking one game at a time, and right now we're focused on Kingsley, and that's our approach. Because you look too far ahead, you kind of lose sight of what you got to do week in and week out. So, like I said, our kids are going to be challenged.
Well, you guys have had 4 years in a row of at least 9 wins, and probably actually would have been 5 if not for COVID, if I'm not mistaken.
We ended up having 9 wins that year because we ended up getting 10 games in.
Oh, okay.
So
5 years in a row at least, I think, with 9 wins.
I think the last 5, I think we've had, yes. I think you're right. I'm trying to remember.
Right. Yeah, when he runs into the next sometimes. But that just, you talk about success and a culture. There's that culture, and there has been.
Kind of like your sheriff's department.
Well, that's what we're building towards.
There you go, yeah.
That's what we're building towards. But you look and you took over in 19, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you took over in 19, and how many years were you on the staff prior to that?
14.
All right.
Holy Lordy.
Yeah, like I said, I've been
So
up
20.
here a while. Yeah, this will be year 21, I believe. So.
Yeah. So 21 years, and you look, and you very easily, when Monty went down to Belding, could have said, okay, I want to look at a different offensive style or set, and but you came up with that, and obviously there's a reason why you've had the success you had.
Yeah, it was working, so we weren't fixing. I mean,
and it's hard to defend against.
and it's
Let's
easy
be
for
honest.
us to. It's kind of easy for that year Monty left. We lost 10 starters, so we were able to still stay competitive because it wasn't a complex system. Our kids knew our system, and they knew that they were going to be good at it. It was just a matter of plugging in the pieces.
You look, I mean, so I've coached rocket football for a long time, being my older boy when he went through, and now, Cooper. And you look, and there isn't always success at that lower level of rocket football with Reed City football, because you guys are actually starting teaching that at a young age, and it takes a while for the kids to catch on and such. But then you look at this 7th and 8th grade group that I've been told about, and you go, they stuck with the program, they stuck with what they needed to do, and you're starting to see that success. It's not all about wins and losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we take a bathroom break?
No, can't do it yet.
We're
redoing the computer.
Why, do you have to use the bathroom?
Yeah, I got to use the bathroom. I was going to take a bathroom break, but I want to thank our sponsor, Bob Aldridge from B1039. Oh, you're not a...
No, I'm not. I'm not a sponsor.
I like to tease Bob over there. The Eastern comedy show, we call it.
Yeah, right.
But, hey, so going back to you now, your wife's retired too then?
No, my wife is a real estate agent. She has her own brokerage up here, but she does a lot of different things. I'm kind of the old story of the football player and the cheerleader. She was a cheerleader. She actually owned her own cheerleading camp company for 20 years, and then closed that down during COVID. But she judges national cheerleading events, so the stuff you see on like ESPN. So she travels the country in the winter months after football season.
What's her name?
Sally
Last name then?
Daling.
Say it again.
Daling, D-A-L-I-N-G.
All right.
Yeah.
So she's her own broker up here in
Yeah.
the city. What's the name of her company then?
She works through, it's called the Local Element, Mid-Michigan. She's based out of Grand Rapids, but she has her own brokerage up here.
So she went to Allendale High School?
She went to Granville High School.
Oh, Granville. My cousins live there.
So we met in college.
So then, was she a athlete down there, cheerleader?
She was a cheerleader, gymnast.
Okay, well, she's an athlete then.
Yep.
So your kid's pretty good then, or?
It kind of both. My oldest daughter was more traditional sports. She played volleyball all the way through high school. My youngest daughter she's gonna do her student teaching in this fall in Granville, but she just finished up her classwork at Aquinas. But she was a competitive dancer all 4 years, and something I didn't know. I mean, she was a scholarship athlete. So
Wow.
as a competitive dancer, she did very well.
So did they go to Reed City then?
Nope, they're all in Allendale. So I've only been up here 4 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, yeah. All right, wow, that's cool though, ain't it?
Yeah.
You know, that's what you want in life is success for your children.
Yep.
And your dad was lucky he had a good son, and same as Scott here, you know. But, Breckenridge, they put out a lot of coaches, or do you ever go back in your class reunions and find anybody else coaching out there?
There's a few of them out there, but it's tough to get back, especially on Friday nights when you're busy. So it's been 20 some years since I've been back to catch a football game, and because I'm usually on the sideline too. So, you know, when I get a chance, I go back and visit people.
Where do you hang out at Reed City? Because I go up there to my cousins there, Buckboard, and have dinner once in a while with the wife, and I always look forward to some Reed City people, which I see and talk to. But where do you hang around up there, Travis?
You know,
At home?
pretty much. I'm a
I don't
homebody
blame you.
in ways, but
Yeah.
when we go out, there's Hawkins, there's the Buckboard,
Yeah.
Sonny's. I mean,
Yeah.
but we don't go out
Well, that's
a
on that
ton.
Sonny's, Jesse Kyling there.
Yep.
That's Sonny's, isn't it? Roast beef's good up there.
Yep. Brewery's a good one up there too.
Yeah.
So I mean, we when we do, but most of the time we're homebodies because we're gone quite a bit.
Yeah, you bet. That's where I am too. I do all my talking right at the gas station, and after that I'm done socially. I go home and sit.
No, you don't.
Well, not all the time, but sometimes. Well, we're gonna take a break, Bob.
Not yet.
Not yet. Brian, take it over. Daddy's got to go potty, and I might get some water. You guys need some water?
I'm good, thank you.
All right.
So let's look ahead to this year then. We talked about the schedule a little bit. What are some expectations for you guys, both offensively and defensively? I mean, what did you lose? What do you have coming back? Who are some key returners, or in some maybe unknowns?
Expectations are always the same. You know, we want to compete week in and week out, compete for a conference title, and then obviously make a run in the playoffs. Offensively, you know, we got to move people up front. We're in a phone booth, so we got to be able to move people, and then we have some good speed back there. So if we get some push, we got some kids that can move. Defensively, we are always harping on them about getting to the ball and finishing plays with tackles, and just making sure they're in the right spot at the right time, and they're doing what they're supposed to do.
The ball, and that's a good thing about the defense. With your guys' offense being what it is, there's not a whole lot I think that can get, the defense can get surprised by, especially if they got to practice against what you guys run every day. The defense, no matter who they're going up against, is going to be watching that ball and not watching everything else that's going on.
Yeah, we for us going against D teams, we're more comfortable with it. Kind of like spread teams going against spread teams.
Right.
So, it's what you practice, and like you said, our kids get pretty much where they need to be with what they're being taught. So
linebacker-wise, who do you guys have on the line with the linebackers then that you're kind of looking towards, being those leaders on the defensive side of the ball?
We have Ethan Phillips and Tyler Woodside right now. Tyler was an outside linebacker for us last year. We moved him to inside this year to see how that goes. Cass Thomas is also in the mix there too. And we're looking at a couple young guys as well. But Ethan played there last year, so he's returning experience. Tyler's been playing defense and starting on our defense. He's been up since he's a sophomore.
Yep.
So it's just a new spot for him. So.
And now, you look, you don't get to where you are without. I mean, it's a team sport. I don't know if there's more of a team sport than football. And we talk about individuals that may be contributing, but let's be honest, it's everybody, and it's a long season, and everybody's got to contribute. Everybody's got to get out in the field at some point, and the best you can do sometimes is to get everybody on the field so that come later in the season, if somebody's down, then somebody's ready to step up and been there and done that.
Yeah, we've dealt with injury issues in the last few years where we've had guys go down. We've had guys step up, and so I think this year that makes us even deeper because a lot of these kids have gotten time because of those situations. So I think overall we're deeper at about every position this year on both sides of the ball, and with the strength and conditioning, and we've also been in contact with JD Fit and John Durante. He's been coming up and helping us become more athletic. So it's been a pretty good mesh so far, and you've seen results with it too. So our kids are really putting forth a lot of that stuff.
All right, well, Pat's back just in time.
Yes.
I guess I just got the OQ. Let's
Yeah,
go
we'll
to
take
a
a break
break.
right now. We'll take a
break
break.
now, all right.
Yeah, timing's
Hooked at Curries.
Pete, why do you come to Curries?
I go in there for breakfast every single morning, Prac, except the week. Well, on Sunday. I usually go to church. But I love the scrambled eggs and bacon and toast. Homemade.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. We're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care, with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
Curry's Hot Stove League here on B1039. So, Pat, would you reintroduce our guest?
Scott.
Scott and Scott.
Yep. We call him Scott.
Scott squared.
How many assistants do you have, Scott?
I believe there's 8, so 9 total coaches right now.
Who's your offensive coordinator? Who calls the plays?
Sims.
Clayton Sims does, yeah.
Been there for 100 years.
He's a homegrown boy. He's been on the staff probably a few years less than me, but we've been there pretty much through it all. You got to listen to Monty over the years. Took a lot from him. He actually took the first year as head coach. His brother's down in Belding, so he took a year and went to Belding. Decided he wanted to be back in Reed City, and he's been calling the offense, and he does a fantastic job with it. He's got a great mind for it.
Yeah, you guys. I smile when I say this because you guys are very competitive. Doesn't matter who you play and how big a team. You guys come out with a lot of heart, don't you? And you never give up, do you? Even if you're down by 14 and you got 6 minutes left, you're out there just going at her, ain't you?
Yeah, we want to install that fight in our boys, and our boys want to win every game. So it's easy to be competitive, but I think the other thing is our coaching staff is competitive too. So they get to see that from us, whether we're joking around with each other or, disagreeing on certain things. They get to see it, and they kind of are like, oh, coaches are getting after each other a little bit.
Because they care.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. I know we're Big Rapids. My family's Big Rapids, but I look, and if we were a Reed City, I look at Scott, his staff. I look at Brennan, who's a friend of mine, and his, coaching staff, and you can't go wrong, and something that Reed City really should be proud of. I've got a lot of pride in being a Cardinal, but if we were Coyotes, I'd feel the same way, and that says a lot about Scott, Brennan, and the coaching staffs they have, and the other coaches also.
Oh, yeah. Well, how about what's it meant for Reed City coming down to Big Rapids, playing in that beautiful football field of Big Rapids? They like that?
I mean, the game is always the game, so it doesn't matter if it's in Reed City or Big Rapids. We know what the history is with it, not being a local guy, but being here for 20 years. It's one of the best rivals in the state. I mean, everybody looks forward to that game, both sides of it, and it's usually a war.
Well, that's what I tell people that come here, and I don't know how I put it, but they don't realize that tradition. If we have a coach coming here that's not from here, they don't realize how important to be ready for Reed City. Of all the games, it's like a state championship game of the year, isn't it?
Oh,
It always is. I mean, win or lose, you give it your all against Reed City. It always has been that way. I grew up here, and I know the tradition. And we can say, Chippewa Hills is our rivalry, or Morley State.
It's not.
Reed City is the one that, and you guys don't forget that year, and Big Rapids doesn't.
Well, I remember coaching middle school basketball at Big Rapids, and I would tell my kids, you're not going to remember hardly any of these games we play here, but you're always going to remember how you did against Reed City, whether you won or lost. There's not a lot of memories you're going to have, but the ones you do have is going to be around that. And it's the truth, and that's really what makes sports what it is.
Well, and just going back for tradition, talking about tradition, 81, Reed City, I think, won basketball title.
I think it was 80, 81, somewhere in there.
My brother Steve played for the Cardinals back then. He was a starting guard, and he was a pretty good ball player. His best friend was Steve Ellison. He was a starting guard for the state championship, and then the runner-up one year, and I think they runner-up, and then they won one.
I think they won one and then a year off and then a runner-up or something.
And Steve, anyway, those two Steves were best friends back in high school, Reed City, and that was pretty unheard of. Usually it was fighting. And but anyway, they respected each other, and Reed City kicked our butts both games, and then, of course, they went in. Boyd Bauer there from Paris Auto, he was on that team, him and his brother. And there's another one up in Reed City that still lives there. I think he works for Wheat Lake. What the heck's his name?
Holmquist?
Yeah, I think he was on
Chuck,
that team.
I think.
Yeah, Chuck was on that team too. But boy, the reason I bring that up, we went to that. There was a lot of people from Big Rapids was rooting for Reed City that year, because I think our record was like, wasn't too hard to remember. I think we didn't win a game that year. And Reed City won all their games. It was like 0-20 and 20. No, but Big Rapids was proud to be a part of that tradition that year of Reed City winning. We felt bad for us, but the good Lord said, no, it's Reed City's turn. And so to think, we hate Reed City. We love Reed City.
Well, I remember
we hate to lose to Reed City, but we don't hate Reed City. We're very proud that they're in Western Michigan. I am anyway. I'm very proud to say that I know Eli Williams or all the Williamses up there, or Steegs or the Urbuses, just a lot of traditional families up there that stay there and make a living there. And now their grandchildren are going there and playing coyote football. So I don't know I know you realize the tradition up there, Scott, and I think that's why you're there and why you want to retire someday from Reed City,
Yeah, it's like I said, that's one of the games that rival. And when you have guys like Clayton Sims on your coaching staff that grew up in that rival.
Right.
Well, in our office we have it.
And the worst, you got look how many generations you got up there, the Sims and the worst and all those, the names that I already mentioned. I mean, they're up there rooting for little Kyle. So this year, I don't need you to predict, but do you have a special group of pretty hardworking guys this year? You think you're going to do okay?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this year. I'm excited for every year, but this group is really put in a lot of work. The commitment from this group has been awesome all summer long, all year long. The team chemistry has been awesome with this group too, where they are playing for each other, not for themselves more. Wow. So we've tried to build on that a little bit, doing some team bonding things. simple things like I think last week we went bowling with them, and you know, we have a couple kids on our bowling team, so of course the coaches got to talk smack to them about bowling against them and have fun. And you know, we went up to Eagle Village and we did some volunteer work there, and then we got on the ropes course. So you know, we're just trying to keep building that commitment with the kids, seeing the bigger picture than just themselves in the whole group of the team atmosphere. And you know, I think that's one of the things when you're a former player, that's the biggest thing you miss when you leave, is being part of a team.
Yeah.
And that's what draws you back into coaching or playing or whatever, or being part of a department. So that's what we're trying to build within those kids too. And so, I mean, we're pretty strong, we're pretty athletic too. So hopefully stay away from the injury bug and all that other stuff. And, you know, we're deep this year too. So it's exciting to see what we have.
Now, did you lose a lot last year?
We lost, I think, 10 seniors. I think there was maybe 6 of them that played.
Wow.
So
Did you bring any 10th graders up on this year's team?
Well, we had a freshman up last year, so he's already there, and the Copic kid. And then
Freshman.
he's going to be a sophomore this year.
What's he play?
He's a running back and a linebacker type kid.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we're looking at like 2-3 sophomores maybe, but we don't make any predictions or pulling kids up until you kind of put on the shoulder pads. And you know, when we start out in a scrimmage with Beale City, we'll find out about them real quick. So
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked is so, like, do you dwell on your JV team as much as you do varsity? Because, you know, I mean, that's a feeder program. But a lot of schools will take, like you say, you had that freshman last year, and that's pretty unusual for a freshman, 14, 15-year-old kid to play against 18-year-olds. He must be a pretty good athlete. So do you pull up a lot of those kids a lot of times, or do you say, no, we're going to let them mature, get growth a little bit? And
a lot of it depends on what we need. If there's a kid that we think that can play at that level and is going to play, then we're going to take them and make them a little bit better and get them used to, you know, a kid that comes in, like, I think we have five seniors that are going to be on their 3rd year of varsity football. So I mean, that's a lot of varsity football to introduce them to. And it might be rough their sophomore year, but by their junior year and senior year, everything's a little bit slower and a little bit, you know, they're just a little bit better at everything. So with our JV program, we stress a lot on our JV coaches just to get to hammer the basics, make sure they know what the fundamentals are, and get after it. And they know the nature of it. That their top kids are probably not going to be with them, so they get pulled. But it's development for them, and we want them to be competitive. But at the same time, we want kids to get better, and that's the whole goal of it.
The reason I say that, because I know a few years back, I don't know so much in the present day, but a few years back, Reed City, we beat Reed City in football and JV freshman football. And then all of a sudden we come up to varsity and we say, okay, we got this. And then you guys come down and beat us. And then after investigating it, it was because you had kids that you brought up. So you didn't have those class kids in that lower level football team. But then when they got to be juniors and seniors, and oh, geez, different ball game. But is that kind of like a tradition up there a little bit? You say you touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, it just depends on the class and the year. I mean, it depends on how many kids you have too. It might be a numbers thing, but you know, last year I think the freshman was the only JV kid that was up, just because we knew he was going to be able to play at that level.
Did you give him a lot of time?
Oh yeah, he got time. We started him slow, but he was one of our starting running backs by the end of the year. So
Really?
Oh yeah.
How old was he?
I think he was 14, maybe 15 at the time, and just he'd done a lot of like 7-on-7 stuff in the off season down in Detroit. He is a football kid, and he was a good sized kid already. So there were some learning curves for him, but he's gotten that much better too. So
How many seniors you got this year?
I think 14 or 15. So we've had a pretty good class coming up through with this group. So we have a good group of seniors. So
Scott, what do you think on your defensive side?
Yeah, I help out with the offensive line, and then I coach the inside linebackers. Game nights I'm in the booth and talk to Coach Schenkel, and I help out. Most of my experience is from the defensive side, so that's kind of what I can bring to the table.
So you go up there and say, okay, we're getting burned over here. Get so-and-so over here and watch that guy. Is that what you do?
Yeah. It's quite a bit of a different perspective for me because I'm so used to being on the sidelines for so many years. So that was a big learning curve for me, going up to the press box. But I like it up there. It's I can kind of see and just advise on some things. Let Scott know just basics, down and distance formation stuff. Some tweaks we need to do from more of a defensive perspective. And then on the other side, just kind of every once in a while. Help Clayton out with what the opponent is doing defensively to us, and look at specific things he wants me to look at.
So that's what I was going to ask you. So you guys are quite a team up there. You watch a certain aspect of the game, then he watches a certain part of it, and then you come together and say, hey, what happened over there? I was watching this over here. You got a pretty good defensive line this year?
I would say I think so. I think they're more athletic than what we've had in the past since I've been here. Maybe not as big physically, but I think we have a number of kids that can play there. So I suspect that we'll end up being able to keep kids fresh and rotate kids in. But good, strong, physical, and I say again more athletic type kids.
Linebackers. How many you got back there?
We have two inside kids that we play. We have 3 in the mix as far as that'll play there. We kind of our approach is we try to figure out what the best defense we can put out week to week. Everybody knows we're a base odd front defense, but that might look different against our opponents down the stretch. So we can look at. So there may be sometimes a 3 linebacker set, sometimes 2, but. It depends.
So you have 1 safety then?
No, we're two safety.
Okay.
We base out of that, and then like I said, it just depends on week 1 we could look a certain way defensively, and against another team, let's say a spread team, it's going to look completely different.
Pretty young these guys are to play. It's a pretty complicated game. In the stands, you sit there and watch the game, and you think, "Oh, that was pretty simple," but to adjust for their and mentally for these young kids, how's that work out? Pretty good for you guys? They understand when you call in a play, you say, hey, you get it, blah, blah, blah. And does it ever confuse them?
There's always times kids get confused because the defense might do something different than what was expected, or someone missed an assignment. But, we don't have a huge playbook.
Right.
We have a small playbook, so our kids are very good at our plays because we rep them all the time. There might be a few wrinkles here and there, but our kids know our system, and that's one thing we try to keep it very simple for our kids. We want them to not think. We want them to react on the field.
All right. Now, I know you're very serious out there. I'm trying to be fun here a little bit. What's the most unusual statement a kid came off from screwing up? Well, just like, what's the excuse? Give me an excuse. What? The funniest excuse either one of you guys that question can go to. Or did a kid ever come off there and say, look, I'm having trouble with my girlfriend right now, and I wasn't really clearly thinking out there. I was thinking of her right now more than I was about covering that play? Or did you ever anybody come off the field and you're like, what the hell was that?
Oh, there's always that. There's a few, like I can think of a few years ago a JV kid all upset because he wasn't playing good and something to do with homework, and I'm like, why are you thinking about homework right now? Right. Like the one time we were telling you not to think about homework and you're thinking about homework.
Right.
So
yeah, that's what I mean. They're just distractions. These kids do get distracted.
Or the girlfriend breaks up with them.
They're high school kids. Their attention span isn't big, so there's distractions are real easy. A loud truck goes by while we're practicing and everybody's looking at
a plane goes overhead.
Yeah. So patient-wise, do you feel do you have good patience for something like that, or?
Yeah, everybody has their breaking point,
sure.
But for the most part, being in high school, it's
reality.
Young men with a lot of testosterone in their body.
Yeah.
I deal with it all the time, so you kind of can figure things out when their behaviors change a little bit, but you always got to have patience with it.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you get more patience. So
Yeah. Don't you think, Scott? I mean, you look at your life, you know, the moments in your life that sometimes you look back and say, geez, that really wasn't worth getting all that upset over it. But, you know, that's the fault in all of us. But you think about it, life's pretty short, and the moments that you get captured in, you think back and say, ooh, I shouldn't have done that maybe, you know.
I coming from where I came from, I'm fairly well known as a very fiery coach, and it's comical to me, comical to my friends who know me as that, to have, like the guys on the Reed City staff, that I bring a sense of calm. And so as I've gotten older, I'm a lot less apt to yell and scream. And kids are different now too, so you got to really know how to manage
Each one
kids.
individually.
Absolutely. And some kids are motivated by that. Some kids you can wreck by doing that. And I think looking back, when I was first started coaching, there was a lot of times that I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have, yelled so much at that kid or something like that. But again, like Scott said, being in education, and if you want any success with working with kids, you got to, be able to relate to them. And I think he does a great job of that. I think the whole staff does a great job of relating to the kids, making them feel safe and comfortable, and then being willing to go out on Friday night and perform. So.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good compliments on you, Scott. I'm glad that you came in today so I got to see you face to face, because I've only heard about you, and your success up there is unbelievable, what you do with these kids. And I talked to a lot of the kids that have come through your program, and they're very grateful of maturing in their years with you. You know, what you've done is more than you think you've done, you know what I'm saying? But it's great to have you guys down here today, and an hour went by pretty fast here. We got a few minutes left. If you guys want to wrap it up, I'll shut up, and you can thank the good Lord or thank your principal. I don't even know who.
I'd like to thank Scott.
Yeah, okay, yeah. There you go, Brandon.
We got several people at our office that are former Coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, come football season or basketball season, there's a lot of, ribbing and stuff that goes on at our place. I'm not born and raised in Big Rapids, but been here long enough now where, our families are Cardinals, and, our Lieutenant Trent Livermore is a diehard Coyote, still wears a lot of Coyote stuff away, and Jordan Ralston, one of our deputies, is a Coyote, and then we have Andre Jones.
a few former players, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
And Andre, good story about Andre. He's probably gonna hit me when he sees me, but so Andre, was a pretty good running back along, with his brothers up at Reed City back in the day, and he was on FTO at the time, field training with. This is like 3 years ago, two years ago, and he had a guy take off on him, and he didn't get him. And I kind of come up to him because I was out in the field that day, and I go, "Oh, a few years removed from football, aren't you?" And because I'm sure back in the day you could about track anybody down. So, but we're pretty fortunate that, all three of those guys, and I'm probably missing somebody too, but all three of those guys are really kind of some of the foundations of our office and where we're going and what we're doing.
Well, I think we're very fortunate to have both you guys. And then what we do is want to congratulate you for a great year coming up. Hopefully we can, but anyway, good luck to you both, and really appreciate you coming in. And then at the end of the season, I'd love to have you come back on, and you can assess what you guys did wrong, and that you're going to make right the next year. Scott's over going, what do you mean wrong? We ain't going to make no mistakes. But no, Bob, thanks a lot for putting us up. Bob's a silent guy here. We don't bring him in too much, but he's right there running everything.
Well, we appreciate you guys having us. It's an honor to come up here and be able to promote the program a little bit. So huge thanks to you guys and reaching out, and let us know at the end of the year. It's always fun to get on and talk a little football.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, that's great. And I appreciate what you're doing up there. Well, that's it. There, it's 10 o'clock. Bobby, we'll let you go. Brian, any last words? Scott and Scott?
No, just
God
thank you.
loves you, and so do we. And thanks for coming down here, and best of luck this year against all your opponents, but maybe the Cardinals. But other than that, no, whatever happens there is fine with me, too.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
God bless America.
This is Alec Gary of Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes in Big Rapids and Barrington. I believe what sets Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes apart from everyone else is our commitment to service excellence. When a family calls, we are there before, during, and after the funeral experience. I want you to be able to trust calling us. You know, we're here to guidance and counsel each and every single family to each and every single need. And we just feel like the commitment to families, especially ones that put their care and trust in us, we are going to go above and beyond to do anything we can to help a family during their time of loss. This is Alec Gary, a legacy of service, a promise of care, with Daggett Gilbert Funeral Homes, located in Big Rapids and in Barrington.
When was the last time you checked your tires? At Big Rapids Tire, they know how important it is to keep your ride smooth, safe, and reliable. Whether you're cruising down the highway or navigating tough weather, a fresh set of tires ensures you're ready for anything. Their expert team will help you find the perfect tires for your car and get you back on the road with confidence. Brakes, alignments, struts, and shocks, they do those as well. Don't wait for a blowout, or worse, visit Big Rapids Tire for unbeatable prices, quality, and peace of mind. Big Rapids Tire, Northland Drive, just north of town.
Wednesday morning sun is rising, and Brian talking strong. High school tales and sports they bring life's a story and a song. College dreams and fields of green, memories we all hold dear. Stories told in morning's glow, B1039 is here. Hot stove meets so full of cheer, lively tunes for all to hear. And sheriff side by side, life and sports we take the ride.
Serving the universe.